Wait, what even happened again? Hey everyone, welcome to another video. If you love film, gaming, or television content, please consider hitting that subscribe button because today I'm going to be talking about the new horror film that just came out, The Invitation. So let's get into it. So I pretty much walked into this film with pretty much zero expectations because I saw the trailer before Nope and it just looked like the most generic vampire horror movie that I've ever seen. And to be honest, that's pretty much what I got.
Average.
It's kind of impressive to me actually that this film does absolutely nothing to leave a lasting impression on me. It was so cookie cutter, so generic. I've seen everything to do with this film a billion times before in pretty much every other horror movie. I mean, seriously, at least Twilight, while it was terrible, it still manages to leave some lasting impression. People are still talking about it years after it's released. This is just something that you're going to watch and the next day you're just going to forget, even if it wasn't that bad while you were watching it. The same goes for the performances as well. I mean, this film manages to wrangle a pretty decent cast who have done some pretty impressive things in other shows and movies, but in this, they just give the most generic performance ever that you will forget about, and it almost feels like they're there just for the paycheck.
I do love money.
To be fair to this film, I think the first 45 minutes of it are actually pretty impressive. The opening scene is great in setting the tone, the characters are decent enough, and there's enough of a mystery there to keep you engaged for a little bit. The jump scares are also really decent as well. They build the tension enough to deliver on a really great jump scare. There's no instant scares that you just get over really quickly. They actually do a good job of setting the scene and creating a good frightening scare. However, the problem with all this is that it is all undermined once the story starts to unravel and you start to find out what the threat is and who they really are. They aren't really that threatening. And that's the problem here. If I were to watch this again, which I won't because it was so generic, I'm not going to remember it in a week or so. But if I were, the first 45 minutes wouldn't be as scary because the threat is a joke. I don't think they do that much later on that makes them so threatening and scary in the first place. So on that second rewatch, I would just be thinking of that and it wouldn't have any effect on me like it did the first time. Another positive, I guess, is some of the costumes and makeup. Once again, it's very serviceable, but also once again, I'm not going to remember anything about this after a week. While this film is completely average and generic, the one thing that I think stoops way below that and becomes really terrible is the editing. There are some really weird sequences that are just cut up really awkwardly and they just look comical. It looks ridiculous to me. I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about this. It is really just boring. There's no better word for it. It doesn't do anything special. There's nothing that grips my attention. I'm struggling to think about this film while I'm telling it to you because it's just so hard to remember because I have seen it before so many times. It even rips off another property that is way more compelling, but it just doesn't do it justice. The ending wasn't that memorable, and I ultimately came away from this film quite unsatisfied and thinking that, yeah, while it was okay for a bit of fun while I was bored, it's just not something that I think was worth paying for a cinema ticket to go see. So, do I recommend The Invitation? Probably not. I mean, sure, go watch it if there is absolutely nothing else on at the cinema and you're really, really bored and you're really into the whole vampire horror aesthetic. But other than that, it doesn't deliver anything. It doesn't leave a lasting impression. It's fun for the good hour and 40 minutes that it plays, but really it's not worth your time. I'm going to give The Invitation a 2 out of 5 because of how average it was, and unfortunately it just really didn't deliver anything for me.
Sorry your party's so lame.
Tell me, what are your thoughts towards The Invitation? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, I just want to give a quick channel update. I probably won't be doing another video in a little while because my next one is a massive project. I'm going to be doing a full series review of Better Call Saul, all the way from season 1 right to the finale. I'm still watching the whole show, and I will get that review out as quick as I can. It will be my longest video by far, so stay tuned, and hopefully you will enjoy that. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.